Okay, so next will be Mila.
Yes.
Sure enough, Giovanni actually is using a bit of uh, their during the daytime. The Bee and Hornet, the bar there, they do have kind of a open platform area, and he's using the pub there, the local bar there, to kind of run his auditions. So you can meet him there. And Caleb, he just as a refresher, early 30s, human male, brown hair. He has a goatee, and he's dressed in quite a bit of finery. His clothes are they almost look like tailor-made to fit his physique. And he really likes leather, like leather
Oh.
jackets and stuff like that. So he has like this suede leather kind of jacket on while he is auditioning some people. And when you come into the bar, he's finishing talking with a couple of the jugglers who were also going to be in there. And he takes a look at you and he says, "All right, it'll just be a couple minutes here." And he finishes up his conversation. And he looks over you and he waves you over. And
I have, do I have, oh,
mhm,
sorry. I was wondering, do I have Jackie on me?
you can.
I was just because. Okay, I have Jackie
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah, you can. No one has claimed kind of ownership of Jackie at this moment, so you can definitely have
Jackie
Jackie on you.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough. And he kind of looks over to you, and he looks at the squirrel, and with a bit of a smarmy look, he says, I hope your act doesn't involve you falling face first in the mashed potatoes again." Although that was pretty entertaining.
Uh, no, it it
Uh,
it it doesn't.
Okay, fair
Is
enough.
it? Is it? I mean, I could if you really wanted me to.
No,
But I don't
no,
understand why.
it was a joke. It was a joke. It was
Oh,
fine.
oh, 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 I'm sorry. It just wasn't funny or something. That was crazy.
His kind of smarmy look kind of fades for a moment, and he goes, "Okay."
Mila has like the most like sincere, innocent smile on her face. Like
Hmm.
wasn't meant to be an insult at all.
Gotcha. So he goes, "All right. Well, why don't you sing something?"
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Let me just grab the dice
Mhm.
and bam. And, oh crap.
Okay. How much did you fail by?
I normally have 50%.
Ooh, so 21.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say you forget the lyrics halfway through, but your tone is fine. But okay, what we'll say is you forget the lyrics of the song halfway through it and you start making up your own based on stuff that you see around the bar. Where he raises his hand, he goes, "Okay, hold up. All right." He says, "You got talent for sure. You have a good set of pipes, and there isn't any sort of accompaniment. So singing without any sort of music is good." He says, "I'm starting to think you might have a bit of a memory problem, though. Is that right?"
Mm, some people tend to think I have a memory problem, yes.
Okay, fair enough. He goes, "All right. So how about this to start things off? How about we start you off as just a day performer? All right. So just singing short, simple songs to entertain the folks during the day shows, right? And we'll kind of incorporate you into um, the evening song and dance stuff too. Maybe you can sing like one or two songs, something short, something, high tempo, right?" He says, "And if it shows that you can handle that, then maybe we'll work on to something bigger." He asks you, "Do you have any other talents too? Like, can you
I can
perform?"
backflip.
Oh, all right. Well, let's see ya. Let's clear some room for her. And he kind of waves his hand away, make sure. All right, let's see.
All right.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay, no, it
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
I'm good.
it's over 90, right? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
He goes, "Oh,
I'm good.
all right, okay."
Want to see
And
me do it again? I can do it again. Bam!
Okay, all right. You get backflip. That's great. That's great. So you're athletic too. You can move around pretty well. That's good. He goes, can you act at all?
I can. I've done acting before in the past.
Have you?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. He goes,
Thinks
okay.
back
Well,
to
let's
when we were in the bar before and had to get kicked out.
or pretend to be a prostitute in the first
Oh
session.
yeah, sort of blocked that one out of my mind.
He goes, okay. He kind of takes a praising look. He goes, all right. He says, if things go well, I can see you taking a more bigger role in everything. I got to be honest though. I mean, it depends on how long you're with the troupe, right? I understand that you guys might be leaving for a little bit at a time. And it'd be nice if I were to have you do like a main stage show, have someone to depend on that. But we'll take a little bit at a time, though. How does it sound, though?
That sounds-
Daily stuff sounds fair.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, yeah. No, he says it's pretty rare to find someone who can carry a tune nowadays. That's for sure. So, yeah, no, welcome. That'll be interesting.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Can I touch your jacket? Neil's just staring at his coat.
Give him like a charm check.
Is
Like,
that just the D100? Or?
It's a D100, and I think it's linked to your physical beauty.
Oh,
It should be
okay.
up there. I think it's like 65 or 75 for you. Let me check.
Is it? Yeah.
Just
I
a
need
second.
help.
It should be up near the top of your character sheet.
Okay.
And as my PDF is loading.
Is it the charm
see.
and impress?
Yes. So
Yeah, it's 65%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So give me a roll there.
All right. Come on. Yeah.
It goes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can touch my jacket.
Neil kind of just like grabs his arm and is just like, "Whoa, I gotta get me one of these." She's like,
So-
"Thank you."
Okay, he was about to say a smooth line, but you cut him off. Which
Oh,
was...
sorry. What was
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Did you just-
That's in character. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to go over there, Creaniface?
No, I think we're good.
No, we're good. Okay. And the last is Piffy. So, Perrin says, he talks with you, you're obviously still at his home, and he goes, we've talked about this a few times, I have a feeling you're a little bit eager about this, and I'm going to tell you, not very many people see my private collection. So, just keep that in mind, he says.
Okay.
The plan is that you're going to have a kind of a new act, so to speak. This isn't something that they've done yet with the Endless Storytellers. We've always had just a few like trinkets and whatnot, pre-riff stuff that shows up, but not a show dedicated to it. But now that we have that dragon skull, that is going to bring in people like crazy. So we've hired a few more security people just in case of that. So what I want you set that what I would really like to do is set you up with your own tent or like exhibition place where you can show off the skull and other sorts of artifacts for people to see, to check out. So obviously we have the skull, and talking with you, I know you know a lot about, the stuff that came before, the world kind of ended, so to speak, right? You're a pretty smart guy. So I'm going to be donating a few things to this traveling sideshow, I guess you could say. We'll call it like on an oddity show or something like that. I'm sure you can come up with a flashy or words, but what I'd like to do is for you to pick a few things from my my personal collection that you think people would be interested in. Mm-hmm. And then we can add them into your thing. Now, I have to stress, though, this is just for the show, and I expect this stuff back when you guys come back after your, 4-month tour or so.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, sure enough, he takes you to, a a room far off into one of the corners of his mansion, and it is behind a very large sealed, almost like a vault, pretty much, right? It is. He asks you to stand back and allow him to access it by himself. And sure enough, it has high security, both like a keypad, and it looks like probably voice, and also probably like an ocular verification as well. But sure enough, the door opens up and he shows you. And let me get my notes. So I don't have like a lot of specific stuff. It's kind of just more of a general thing. So some of his trophies are, he has a variety of like soda cans and bottles. He has articles of clothing that was worn by, it looks like they're not common fashion styles, so they're clearly like golden age type of stuff. Two leather jackets. One of them has an interesting patch on it that says Hell's Angels on it for whatever reason. He has assorted pre-riffs electronics, so some old keyboards, a broken MP3 player, remote control, a PlayStation 2 controller, a large flat-screen TV that looks like it's in perfect condition, assorted bits of jewelry, a few figurines, some action figures. One is of a cartoon mouse. Another one is a plastic blonde doll. Some pieces of art. One art is the picture of like an angel. The other one is a picture of what looks like dog boys playing poker. And some posters of various things, both like celebrity posters and things like that, and like movie posters, stuff like that. He does have a lot in supply is books. Just browsing through one of his bookshelves, you see he has a few technical manuals, some hardcover history books, some softcover pulp fiction, and quite a few comic books actually. He has a complete deck of cards, some baseball and football collectible cards, and 9 holo cards. It's from a fantasy-themed collectible card game, and what it does is they're almost like digitized cards in a way. They're made of plastic with like a shimmering material on it, and if you push a button, a holographic projection of what's on the card shows up. So there's one of what looks like to be like a gross little goblin creature. There's a dragon one. There's an ogre one. There's a few other cards like that. And that pretty much rounds out his personal collection. He does explain, too, he does have quite the collection of pre-riffs movies. But since that is something that he arranges with Zoe, and the movie portion is something that's under her control, it's not something that you have to worry about. So yeah, after giving a very proud look around his collection there, his trophy room, he goes, okay, so what do you think some people are going to want to see?
Oh, jeez. He's just all around just kind of like very, very eager to like touch things. Like he always like slightly brings up his arm but like restrains himself from actually touching anything.
He goes, yeah, and you're definitely allowed to touch pretty much everything except for the comic books, only because those things are very brittle, and he's a little nervous about that. But everything else, like especially like the electronics and the dolls and stuff like that, he gives you permission to touch and check out.
Oh. Well. He Patrick thinks to himself.
Uh-huh.
And mostly what is going through his mind is he knows that he would love to check out any and all of the electronics in there. But he also knows that he's not allowed to disassemble any of them because
no! Oh my god, Karen would just go nuts.
So he's thinking to himself, going, that's what I want to check out, but that's not it. And he has zero idea what people would want. So he then just kind of glances around the room at anything shiny and just starts going like, the holographic cards,
Uh-huh.
the dolls. Um, can I roll to see if I recognize the controller?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I guess it would be an archaeology role because that's ancient history.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what it is. You know that it's paired up with what was a gaming console that was used before the time of the Rifts. And you even know the name of it. Yeah.
I actually kind of go, well, if we actually set up something, people could use that if we have particular movies that are put into it.
Oh, here's the tricky thing. He just has the controller, not the actual PlayStation,
Oh.
not
So
the actual
it's
PlayStation
it is
system.
just
Just
the
the
controller.
controller. Yeah.
Okay. I thought, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, if I do find the console as connected to that, well, I had to find all the cords too. But if I get that, I'm quite sure that television and that controller can work out.
Okay. He goes, but I mean, it's electronical. It needs to be powered too. I'm talking about like the average person who has no idea what any of this stuff is. Someone who, what do you think will amaze them the most, right?
Right. It goes anything that's probably large in stature,
Hmm.
posters, any sort of art. The flat screen television might be something to just marvel at as something to view.
Fair enough. He goes, all right. So what you're saying is, so probably I don't want to give you all of these cards here, but I can give you like three of these holographic cards here.
Hmm.
Some posters, not a problem. Even yeah, sure, the TV, it's kind of in mint condition, but as long as you take good care of it, I don't see much of a
He
problem.
gets a little worried, and I'm like, I'd rather not want to pay for any damages.
He goes, yeah, because that's kind of irreplaceable. He says, oh, okay, maybe we'll leave out the TV. Um, okay, well, consider I'll just go by, I just picked this stuff because I find it interesting, but I don't know what the average person likes, right? So,
Right.
sure, I'll
Uh,
leave it up to
the
you.
and any of the dolls would probably work too.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll make arrangements to kind of collect them together and have them. What I'm hoping to do is I'm arranging to have a few more tents brought in so we can figure out the exact layout of everything. Easy enough. I'll have you talk to Zoe about that.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, that's great. Wonderful. Not a problem. That this is good. This is great. Hopefully it'll just, get a lot of revenue for the troop and everything will be good. And he gives a smile.
Par-
Hmm.
Patrick is very much just like um almost kind of like it almost looks like he needs to go to the bathroom, like he's kind of itching, like kind of like moving
Yeah.
back and forth with his body, and just
Uh-huh.
like very much like hard looking at like the books and trying to look away but can't.
Gotcha. And Perrin just kind of gives you a little escorting arm out of his place and closes the door behind him. He's friendly enough in that, but he knows what you're hankering for, but he's not going to invite you to read his books or to borrow them.
Oh.
He's very proud of his personal collection and he wants to keep it that way. But he does, sure enough, just around the corner, Perrin almost runs right into Siren, the elf, and he goes, "Oh, hey, Finger!" And Perrin goes, "Oh, gee, I didn't know you were here already." He goes, "Well, I heard about a dragon skull, and I think this is the guy I have to talk to." And Perrin says, "Yeah, I think this will be a perfect time," and he excuses himself. And Siren says, "Hey there, pal." Put it right there.
Hi.
Hi. What do they call you?
They call me Patrick.
Hello, Patrick. So, walk with me, talk with me. And you're walking through the halls here of Parents' Place. And he says, "So, you're going to be the curator of all sorts of wonderful, mystical stuff that the average person, they're going to take a look at and it's going to blow their minds, right?"
Well, dragon skulls will usually do that.
Darn straight. Speaking of the dragon skull, tell me how you came across it. Pretend I'm an average person. I go, "Oh, wow, look at that dragon skull. How did you get that?" What do you say?
Oh, we blew up a demon to get it.
He just stares at you and then blinks. He goes, That's what you're going to just tell him? You blew up a demon to get it?"
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how it...
And he kind of rolls his hand. He goes, "Okay, now I see why Zoe asked me. Okay, see, this is the thing. You seem like a really smart guy, but we're the endless storytellers. We gotta tell a story with it, right? So you blew up a demon. So it's more like this. Through the mists, we came across a giant maw of a cave, and upon its threshold lay the biggest, ugliest, most disgusting, vile demon you've ever seen. He had 7 heads, 3 eyes to each
Immediately when he
head.
says vial, he's
Yeah.
like reaching into his pocket and pulls out a small vial of a black substance.
He kind of waves it away because obviously Siren is in the middle of something here, right? He's a bit of a showman, and he gets frustrated. He goes, "You threw me off my game already. I don't care about that. What is that?"
Oh, it's his blood.
See, okay, great. So you got a prop, right? So you use the prop, right? You say, "And I took this from its hide when it would barrow down on me. I could smell its stinking breath. But before he knew it, I put my blaster to its gut and blew it away. And this was all that remained of it." And then you show them the vial, right? And then, but you don't just talk about how you got the dragon skull. Just make something up. Say this was an ancient beast of times long past who came upon this earth to pillage and ruin. And how do you think it died? Maybe you're the one who killed it too. It's possible, right?
This entire time he's like been trying to open his mouth and going like,
Okay, well, he's giving you a
What?
chance to speak now.
He's like, how long should I write the story down?
He goes, "All right, you know what? I'm going to do you a favor," he says.
Okay.
How about this? You worry about all the technical stuff, all the, where to place it, all the technical mumbo jumbo someone might ask. How about you let me just worry about telling the stories about it to bring people into the tent? How's that sound?
Are you gonna tell them the truth or the lies?
And he gives a big grin. He goes, "Well, it depends what you mean by truth and lies. How about I just put a little color to it, a little bit of snap to it. That's all. I won't tell them if they touch it, it will cure them of their diseases. But how about I just embellish things a little bit? Give a little bit of, add a little gem to it. How about that?"
At least, can we get the details down? You have any
Okay,
questions
tell
about
you what, Pat. You tell me the details of it, and I'll make sure to add in each of the details into my stories. How's that sound?
that? Sounds great.
Awesome. Great. Well, I look forward to talking to you about that then. And he goes, "But remember, you gotta sell this stuff, right? I'm sure people are gonna come in because they want to see a dragon skull, but the first thing they do after they pay their credits to see it, they look at it and then they ask questions. And you gotta entertain them when you answer those questions, or they're not gonna come back. They're not gonna tell their other people about it, right? Maybe they're gonna accuse it as fake, you know? So you really got to wow him. You remember that.
Once he says you have to prove that it's real, Patrick gets into like almost a serious face and with deep thought.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. He goes, well, I can see you're thinking, so I'll let you go. You can catch me down at the Horn and Harnett if you want to talk more about it, but don't worry. I'll track you down. I'll get those details. We'll figure out the specifics. Don't
One
worry.
second.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. Do you know
Okay.
where there's an Oriental-looking man that's with Perrin that looks through his more magical means? Do you know where he is?
Goes, oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. You. It's a funny name. I made fun of it once, and he was not happy. But no, I don't know where he is. I know him and Perrin are really close. It's probably best to ask Lord Finger himself.
All right. I think he went this way, and he immediately just kind of wanders off.
Okay, fair enough. Siren lets you wander. So, oh yeah, well, we'll just continue with you then here, Piff, real quick. So yeah, you're able to track down Perrin, not a problem. You probably ask one of his employees where he is, and they're able to get him for you. And Perrin comes down via stairs here, and he says, "I hope Siren didn't bother you too much. He's a bit of a talkative, but he brings people in, so what can you do?"
He brought up an excellent point, though. He wanted to make sure that people, whenever asked, or at least need proof that the Dragon Skull was real, that I could give that to them.
Mhm.
Where would you be?
What do you mean? Oh! Sorry. You Utku, my friend. Oh, he's he left actually. He's gone. He's leading the team to recover the rest of the skeleton.
Ah.
Yeah.
Um,
He's supposed to send me a message in the next couple days or so as to what the deal is, and then I can kind of pull the trigger on that behemoth order that we talked about. But yeah, he's not around, I'm afraid.
is
Why
there
would-
anyone else in the, let's say, more alchemist-like arts?
He says we have a techno wizard that stops on by from time to time, but he's not here at the post, I'm afraid. Sorry.
Well, when you get in contact with you, I'd love to speak with him.
Sure. Yeah, you bet. What's it in regards to, if you don't mind me asking?
I was hoping to maybe showcase a bit of what Dragon Bone can really do.
Oh, he says. Yeah, okay. I'll have him talk with you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So, that's it for the one-on-one stuff here. The rest of what I kind of had planned for the rest of the week, like actually the 2 weeks that you're going to be in Parents Post, was kind of more of a meta narrative thing, rather than like one-on-one conversations the entire deal. If that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, there is one thing I'd like to do, but other than that,
of course. No. Go ahead. If there's anything, so what does anyone want to do right away here?
I would like sometime in the next few days. I'd like to go, and we can just do this out of character. I'd like to go to the doctors and, of course, the guy who did our cybernetic enhancements, and ask not only for any material on juicers and how to treat them, but actually any sort of pamphlets, material, books, journals, anything on medicine at all that I could use to just help further. Because let's face it, I'm kind of faking here.
Yeah, you're faking it.
Yeah. So something like some medical journal, something that I could read up on to just hopefully improve my knowledge, and that I would pay them for it.
Okay. This is the tricky thing.